New airplane build. A Sabre F-86. As the box says. It's a MiG killer. Now, shows us at each side. These go in here. Okay, and as we can see, all these surfaces, except for the end of this, are painted, right? So we're going to have to sand it very carefully, get rid of all the paint inside here and around here, so when we glue it, it makes a good fit. First off, I'm going to just test here. Got a hole pre-made for the servo lead. It's actually the right size. That's handy. I got a wooden skewer here. Push my servo lead through. Test fit these. And they fit really nicely. Okay. So that's good. And then we'll be able to see with the extra lengths and where I have to run the wires for these things. So that's all got to be cut into here before I close this up. So I'm going to take these apart. I'm going to sand all these parts. When I'm done sanding, I'll come back and we'll glue the tail sections on. Well, I thought here, geez, you see, all I'm doing, I get some 80 grit sandpaper. I'm just very carefully going over the foam to take the paint off. You don't want to reshape the foam or make it any much smaller. You see, I just want to get the paint off so that my glues will stick to the foam. Okay, so do this part. I'm going to very carefully go inside and just get where they sprayed the paint inside here. You don't need a big piece of paper. Mine's almost too big for these small places. It's very small in here. I really don't want to scratch up the rest of the plane. There we go. Just about done. Okay, one side's ready. I'll do the other side. You gotta be careful the paper isn't too rough. There we go. I can see all these parts I've sanded away, just the paint. Okay, side's ready to go. Now I'm going to mix up epoxy. I'm going to use 30-minute epoxy for this. And we'll do the two tails. Okay, so remember that wire is going to go in there and the servo's down, so my epoxy mixed. Okay, now we don't want lots of extra on here. We want just enough that we get a good coat inside. Yes, sirree. We don't want it oozing out everywhere. But wherever it's going to make contact, we want a nice little bit of a good layer of epoxy all over. Like I said, we don't want it to be oozing out. Okay, so I got that covered in epoxy. We'll go and stick the wire through. And pull that down into place. So, see here, just a perfect seam in there. That's in there nice and tight. Set this one here. You're going to keep tabs on these. We'll bring this side down. Okay, now we get the obviously none oozed out that last time when I put on, so I probably had just the right amount. You don't want to be too little on the epoxy, but on the next hand you don't want too much because this stuff just makes a mess everywhere. There for my wire, the top side. And remember, the factory always paints these surfaces that need to be joined, just in the spray painting and the rest of it, so we gotta clean the paint off them. So important. Okay, so there's that covered quite good. I mixed just the right amount of epoxy. Okay, now let's get this wire through. Uh-oh. Okay. You can grab that. Squeeze this into place. I see it's got to be pushed forward and down. So, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to move my epoxy out of the way. And we'll let those set up. Okay, I'm checking. Make sure they're staying in place in perfect angle. Okay, and we'll let the epoxy set. Okay, well they set up. Remember earlier we put the glue on these hinges? Yes. Now, I think they're set enough. We'll test fit this, and if everything goes well, we'll put glue on the hinges and slide them in here like this. Look at that, eh? Right down just a bit. It doesn't even hit. That's nice movement on the bottom everywhere. Okay? Look at that funny cutout. I don't know if I should take it to a point or what. This here part, I can always sharpen it later. So really carefully, Take these out. Now this GWS glue I'm using, now it's just like a foam contact cement, but it goes quick on these. So when you start using it, I'm going to get all three of these with a bit of glue on them, and we want to get them in place right away, because the glue is like contact cement, like I said. It starts to surface over real fast. So, but if you catch it just at the beginning, like right now, kind of makes the glue slippery, or the part slippery with glue. So, there. Get all the hinges in just right. Now, before the glue sets, I'll turn my rudder to the amount of throw I want, so that the needed gap will be there, and I think that's lots of throw for the rudder. What do you think? Anyways, yeah, that'll be just fine. Right there. So we'll let that set.